If you completed the exercise on adding a whole worksheet at once or one of the AutoSum movies, you should have a worksheet that looks something like this. So we have our totals column we added across all the rows. We have our totals down here, we added down all the columns. But there's a few other things that we might want to know about these numbers. So let's click down here in cell A15 and type the word average. We want to know what the average is of these numbers and just press tab. So we'll use the average function. Pull type equals average. Now, by the time I type the first 4 letters of the word average, you see Excel is suggesting that I probably want the average function. So I'll just press the tab key and Excel will fill in the rest. So we want the average of what? Well, we want the average of these numbers in January. So just drag over those numbers. Be sure you don't drag anywhere below row 12. We just want San Francisco through Boston. And that's it. Just press Control Enter and it gives us that average. Let's try one more time. Click over here in cell C15 and type equals average. Just type the first 4 letters. You can press tab and it fills in the rest of average. And just select those numbers in February. Make sure not to select any more or any less. And just press, this time, Control Enter so we stay in that cell. And now when you put your mouse pointer on that heavy dot in the low right corner and you get the crosshair, you could just drag across to autofill. And now we see what the average is of each of those columns. Now there's decimals in there, which you might want, you might not want. That's a formatting issue. We'll look at that in a little bit. But let's go down here under average, click in cell A16. Maybe we want to find what's the highest number in the series. So type the word highest. Then again, press tab. The function that tells us what's the highest number in the series is equals max. Then open up the parenthesis. And again, select those same numbers. Down the January column. So this is telling us, well, find the maximum value in B6 through B12. And just press Control Enter to stay in one spot. Put your mouse pointer on that dot in the lower right corner of the cell so you get the crosshair. And drag the autofill handle across to the right, and now you can see what's the highest number in each of those columns. Well, if we find out what's the highest number, we might want to know what's the lowest number. So let's go over here into A17 and type the word lowest. And again, press tab. Well, if the equals max function finds the highest number in the series, what do you suppose is the name of the function that finds us the lowest number in the series? Yes, you're right. It's the min function, so we type equals min. Open up the parenthesis and again drag down those same numbers. Recognize the pattern here and press Control Enter so we stay in the same spot. Put your mouse pointer on that heavy dot so you get the crosshair and drag the autofill handle across. And now we can see what's the lowest number in the series. One other thing we might want to know is not so much the value, but how many numbers do we have? How many cells are filled in? So click over here and let's simply type in the word quantity. And press tab. The function that tells us how many cells are filled in is count. So we say equals count. Then see, it's already suggesting that to us. And open up the parenthesis. And guess what? We drag those same numbers from San Fran down to Boston. Press Control Enter so we say in the same spot. And this, of course, is going to be 7 all the way across because we have 7 in each one. You might wonder, hold gee, that's really big news. But if you just click one, let's say we didn't go to Chicago in February, press delete. And over here, we have only 6 numbers. And I'm going to undo. I kind of like Chicago, so we now have all those 7. Now, here's what's really pretty neat. Let's just maybe delete those numbers there and the average row and go here to January. Remember the AutoSum tool? If you click that down arrow, look what you have. In addition to AutoSum, you have sort of like an auto average sort of count, not quite as automatic as sum, but if you choose average, you see it puts in the function, but of course you still have to manually drag across those numbers. And Control Enter and drag the autofill. Or the same thing for the lowest. Let's just delete those. Go back over here to cell B17, and now if you click this down arrow here, and you choose min, all it does is it puts that in, but it's selecting the wrong cells, so you still have to select that. Remember, Excel can't quite read your mind, maybe the next version. And Control Enter and get your autofill handle and drag across. So those are some of the most common functions in Excel, and there's over 300 functions, but just because those are so common, I think you'll find these pretty handy.